Thank you for having me here.
Thank you.
There are two types of doctors. The first kind is one that you would go to if you don't feel too well. They'll take a look at you, tell you what medication to take, and then say come back in 2 weeks. The second kind of doctor is one that will tell you weeks ahead. You might get sick if you don't do certain things. In other words, they tell you before you get sick. Now, which do you think is best? The first kind, who will tell you after you get sick what to take, or the second kind, who will tell you before you get sick? Second kind, I agree with you. I think that's the best option too. Now, well, I'm only 13, but I would like to share with you all while your minds are still very fresh and before things get really competitive out there in the world. There is a major change in the global economic power shift. It is from the West, such as the United States and Europe, to the East, such as China and Africa. For example, 20 years ago, which was before I was born, if something was made in China, everyone would laugh at what you had. Now, almost everything we use every day is made in China. Computers, TVs, vacuum cleaners, microwaves, blenders, sneakers like your Nikes and Adidas, and cell phones like your Verizon and T-Mobile phones. They are all made in China, and no one's laughing anymore. Why am I saying this? Because we need to get ready to change the way we educate the next generation of Americans. 我不喜欢看儿子不去学校，我更喜欢看儿子去学校，学校很好。That was Chinese, and it means, I don't like seeing children not going to school. I really want to see them go to school, because school is very good. See, I'm learning already. 我4年级，我家有6口人，我的爸爸妈妈2个妹妹，弟弟和我。Okay, now I have big news for you. Early childhood teachers are in the front line of educating the next generation of U.S. leaders. Now, let me tell you all this very short story. About 14 years ago, a young child was born in Los Angeles to parents who had come from Nigeria and Mauritius. Her first exposure to education was by her parents at 12 months, because they knew that early childhood education was very, very important. Her second exposure to education was at the Tutor Time Early Childhood Program at age 4. Fast forward to age 13, and still young, She has accomplished many things. She's the youngest to be featured in Forbes magazine at age 10, the youngest to be featured in the Elle magazine, the youngest to be featured on all global TV stations such as CNN, BBC, Bloomberg TV, and CNBC. The youngest to show their self-produced film in a commercial movie theater chain at age 12. All of these and many more firsts, all because of the effect and impact of early childhood education in her life. Since then, she has spoken to many children in 11 countries about the importance of education. And she has met and spoken to 19 presidents and prime ministers about creating policies for all children to go to school. That young lady is standing in front of you all today. My name is Zuriel Oduwole. This is my story. Someone once told the story of the thousands of starfish that washed ashore and the one lady who took her time to throw a few back. She was laughed at because they thought that there were too many and she can't make a difference. But she was just one person, and she made a difference to the few that she threw back. Let me share a story of how much difference one person can make. When I was 10 years old, because of the early childhood education I got, including after school at tutor time and at my church summer school, I was bold enough to start the Dream Up, Speak Up, Stand Up project to encourage children to stay in school and get an education. That way, they have more options in life. If they stay in school, more early childhood educators are engaged, and everyone together builds a stronger community. So far, I've spoken to more than 24,650 children in 11 countries, including Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Malawi, Ethiopia, the UK, and my largest audience here in the US. $16,000 screaming at the SAP Center in San Jose, California. It is a result of early childhood educators and is an example of what one educated child, boy or girl, can do. So, on behalf of all of us children who went through early childhood programs, I would like to thank you all here today. So please rise to your feet and give yourselves a very, very big round of applause. Oh, come on, I'm sure you can do better than that. This is for you. So that's much better. So, most of us know that Arnie Duncan is no longer the Education Secretary. It is now Secretary John King. We all have to be involved in order to make a tangible difference. Here is a look at the new Education Secretary. Okay, so now that we are all a little bit more excited, I hope. That happens a lot. This thing must really love the videos we're showing. It always does that just as I'm about to speak. Okay, we're good. So, I always believe that people have the answers to many challenges if they are allowed to participate even more. Do you agree with this? So let us all take a few minutes to write down what we believe are two of the biggest challenges facing caregivers and what we believe are the solutions to these challenges. Some of us will get to share what we believe are the biggest challenges and the answers. So does everyone have a pen and paper to write on? If not, you can raise your hand and we can get some papers to you. Do we have any paper available, please?
policymakers that these children are learning when they play, and kindergarten should have play. Preschool has play. Kindergarten should have play. That's how those children learn.
Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Carla from Children's Shoe. And our team is very important and welcome. Really important that your child, they are really challenging every day. As parents, whatever they are doing, they can do it. What's going on with you? And it means that they need the same education you went through. And the same things that you're challenging them. They need to know this stuff. They have no idea to raise their kids.
Okay, so Joy. So now that we have these 4 challenges, we're going to think of solutions. So who here has a solution to educating the educators? Funding, okay. Okay, so funding for the educators. Now, what do you think about the parents' issue? Education? Communication, okay, communication, education. Policies, okay, last one. Being able to enjoy what you do. Any solutions to that?
Yes. If you don't like your job, go to another one.
If you don't like your job, go to another. Okay, switching jobs. Okay, switching jobs. Switching jobs and more money.
So I wanted to get a bag of money. She said, I don't need that much money. I said, no, it buys me things I like. That's not a problem.
Okay, so are we all satisfied with solutions to these challenges? Yes? Okay. So I hope you all enjoyed doing that activity. Now, I know that we are not all policymakers here, and most of us just do what we think is necessary or do what we love to do, right? I hope we'll be able to take some of these solutions and start to make a small difference in educating the next generation of American leaders from tomorrow. Okay, you guys ready for this? I want to show you something that I haven't shown anyone else in this country yet.
Get ready, get ready. Not yet, yes.
It is a small clip from my next documentary film that I shot in 5 countries during the 2014 FIFA World Cup. I shot in Brazil, Ethiopia, Nigeria, Mauritius, and here in the United States in Washington, D.C.
Not yet.
It is a story about 2 soccer balls traveling 29,000 miles for education. It shows you all again what the power I would like to thank you all very, very much and have